Thanks for joining us on this Feel Good Friday. I'm Chivon Kloepfer.
It makes people happy.
Coming up on Catching Up with Kloepfer.
At a teacher, when I said, hey, I want to apply to CMU, I'm going into meteorology, she was like, oh, I think you should choose a different field.
Really?
And I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, I don't think this is for you. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well and prove you wrong.
Is there anything you want to? No, I'm just kidding. No. Want to say to that teacher right now?
No, we won't say.
No, I'm
but
just
no,
teasing.
it was just kind of like that extra motivation that I needed to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not just going to get through this, but I'm going to get through this in the best way possible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Catching Up with Kloepfer. I'm Chivon Kloepfer, a news anchor here at WLNS TV6 in Lansing, Michigan. It's good to be with you. This is our very first episode, so I want to bring in our lovely guest today, the one and only meteorologist extraordinaire, Kendall Wilson, who is helping me work out the kinks for this new show. So hi, Kendall.
Hello, happy to be here. I'll need to change my official title now, not just meteorologist to meteorologist extraordinaire.
Oh,
because you just said that.
I was thinking, did you get another degree?
No,
I
just want to have extraordinaire on the.
It sounds very nice. Yeah. Well, this is a platform where we can kind of get to know people a little bit better and catch up on, stuff outside of the world of meteorology. Yeah. So I want to know, and I learned a little bit about you because we've been working together how long now?
I'm going on 5 years here, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I started back in 2021, so this is my 4th full year.
Yeah, and that's how long we've been working together?
Well, I've been on the 5:30 show, I think since 2023.
Okay.
So I think we've been doing the same show for about 2 years now.
Which is fun, yeah. We do the 5:30 p.m. newscast for people who aren't familiar. So it's been great to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, and we have a blast every single
We do. So I just want people to know a little bit more about you because we only have a little bit amount of time in the newscast to learn things.
Yeah, to actually showcase different tidbits about ourselves, basically.
Like I learned recently that Kendall had never carved a Halloween pumpkin. And so we took care of that.
Yes, we checked that one off the bucket list. And actually it was, I think for my first time, I think I did pretty well.
You did great.
Yeah.
You took your sweet time.
Yeah. And thanks to Chivon, I had to scoop out the pumpkin guts by hands. I could not use a spoon or anything. No.
You had to jump right in there. All right. So I want people to know a little bit more about you, like we've said. So tell me where you grew up, family life, and then we'll eventually get into how you got into this field.
Got you. So I grew up in Southfield, Michigan. That's 20 minutes outside of Detroit on a good day with traffic. So I essentially just say I'm from Metro Detroit because people don't know where Southfield is.
Right.
My family dynamic is a little interesting. So I have 2 older half-siblings that are twice my age.
Okay.
And then my father remarried my mother and had me and my younger sister.
So a nice blended
family. We all get along great. But because of that dynamic, I became an aunt at the glorious age of 6 years old, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was always, running around my 3 nephews and then my niece who was born when I was in, I believe, high school.
So it feels more like cousins probably then.
I feel like my nephews are more like cousins. Like some of them, I'm like, okay, you could be my brother at this point too.
Right. Okay. So, and then where did you go to high school?
So I went to Marion High School. It's a all-girls Catholic high school in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan.
Okay.
And that was amazing.
Why?
Because I did public school, elementary, and middle school. So, it was the whole process of, okay, you got to pick out your outfit for the first day of school, and then the second day is just as important. At this school, we had a uniform, which I had never experienced before. So I would spend maybe 10 minutes in the morning getting ready because it was all girls. Honestly, I don't know if I should say this, but we didn't really care if we brushed our hair because you're around all girls. So it would take me 10 minutes to get up, get dressed, brush my teeth, and get out the door every morning.
My high school was a Catholic school, and we had a uniform, and I loved it. And a lot of people think, oh, you must have hated it. No, exactly for those reasons. I didn't have to think about anything in the morning. You just put it on.
Yeah, so the first year that I was there was a little interesting because I had never done a uniform before. I didn't really understand the concept of it. So the first day was fine. The second day I wore a shirt that didn't go with the uniform. So I got sent to the dean of students office and that whole thing.
Yeah. What kind of, because I had a kilt.
So we had a skirt, like a plaid skirt,
Okay.
almost.
Did you do the roll? Because I
roll.
did the roll.
We did the roll.
And then I had a history teacher who would get the ruler out. If you
Oh,
walked
yeah.
into his classroom and it looked a little too short, they would get the ruler out in front of everybody and they'd measure.
So we did, I don't know if we ever had the ruler, but if your skirt didn't go past your fingertips, then you were kind of in trouble there.
Yeah. So at what point did you want to go into meteorology?
I think it started when I was very young. So I always knew I wanted to do news. I think since I was around, I know this is a joke with the kids, but 6, 7 years old.
What is it? Six, seven? Good one, Kendall. Way to squeeze that in.
But when I was 6 years old, my parents kind of realized that I had a real knack for memorizing things.
Okay.
So I could, at 6 years old, recite from start to finish the entire movie The Lion King. So they realized, okay, she has a knack for this. So my school was doing oratorical competitions.
Yeah.
I entered in that. I was the youngest contestant at 6 years old to make it to like the Southfield oratorical contest. And I was so nervous.
Well, at 6?
Yeah. That I looked straight ahead. My mom was sitting over in the corner. We had little cues worked out and everything. I looked straight ahead, didn't look down at my cue cards once. Memorized the whole thing.
It's really funny that you say that because once upon a time in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle.
Yeah.
Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. That's from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I have memorized Beauty and the
Yes.
Beast, and I did that with Disney movies. So it's the same thing. That's so funny.
And then it was kind of, so that was always like, okay, I wanted to do something with news, something where I'm talking constantly because I also like to hear my own voice.
But
And then it was like, okay, my father was from the Bahamas. So I always had family members that were affected by hurricanes. And when we would go down there, I vividly remember I always wanted to sit on the right side of the plane. Because when you looked outside the right side of the plane, going down into the old airport in Freeport, there was a patch of trees, always cut down. They didn't have any leaves on them. Because, and my dad would always say, hey, Kendall, do you know why the trees don't have any leaves? I'd be like, no, why? It's because all the hurricanes come and they chop down the trees essentially because of the strong winds. And I was like, oh, okay. So now we want to learn more. And then you see how long it takes these places to rebuild after being constantly bashed by hurricane after hurricane after hurricane.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it kind of sparked that natural interest in me.
And then after high school, you went to
CMU, Fire Up Chips. Yeah, Chivon went to CMU too.
I did. And so you just went straight, you knew it was going to be meteorology right away.
Yes, I knew it was going to be meteorology right away. I did not realize, however, how tough the degree would be. So I remember orientation, you go in, they kind of, give you the lowdown of, okay, because our classes were you had to take it in a specific semester in a specific year.
Okay.
So they only offered like Met 101 in the fall.
Right.
So if you failed that, you had to wait a whole nother year.
Because you couldn't then take whatever next class in the spring.
Yes, because it was a prerequisite for a prerequisite,
Right.
All down the line. And so when I'm going through the courses, I'm like, oh, it's like Calc 2, Calc 3, something called linear and differential equations. And I was like, all right, well, okay.
Yeah.
But
you made it through?
I made it through mainly because, when I was in high school applying for these colleges and, your teachers have to write you letters of recommendations. I had a teacher, when I said, hey, like I want to apply to CMU, I'm going into meteorology. She was like, oh, I think you should choose a different field.
Really?
And I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, I don't think this is for you. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well and prove you wrong.
Is there anything you want to? No, I'm just kidding. No. I want to say to that teacher right now.
No, we won't say.
No, I'm
but
just
no,
teasing.
it was just kind of like that extra motivation that I needed to be like, okay, yeah, like I'm not just going to get through this, but I'm going to get through this in the best way possible and as quickly as I can within my 4 years.
I was David Young, our chief meteorologist. He's also said it's really tough.
Yes.
And if you can get through the schooling, then you have a great time.
Exactly.
Because you know what you're doing. And I always thought, oh, I should, if I could go back, I think to myself, maybe I would, want to be a meteorologist. And then I think to myself, I don't know that I could get through the program.
There are so many times, I think it was in either my first semester or my second semester at CMU. I remember I was, dealing with these, problems that we had to do for homework. And I called my mom and I'm like, I'm changing my major. She's like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm changing it. This is too hard. And she's like, okay, well, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I'm in this advertising class. She's like, Kendall, you're not going to like it nearly as much. So I was like, all right. She was like, just stick with it for a couple more semesters and then we'll decide. And then I was like, all right, if I can get through the first year, then
You made it through.
I can get through the second and the third and all of that.
Being on TV, everyone wants to know, is that as fun as it looks?
Yes and no. I feel like for me, I'm very hard on myself.
Yes.
So, and I know you're the same way.
Yes.
To where, like, I get home after work every day, and I know I should not do this. You have given me the advice that I should not do this. But I call my mom every day after work. She's like, how'd it go? I'm like, oh, it's terrible. She's like, what happened? I was like, I messed up on a word. She was like, one word, Kendall? And I was like, yes. Like, oh, you wouldn't believe it, mother. She's like, Kendall, I'm pretty sure it was fine. She's like, go back, watch it in a week. I do that. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't even that bad.
Wasn't. I was going to say you've never had a terrible performance ever. But I get it. One word. It could, you want to have a flawless performance.
And I feel like for us, like, we know also when we're talking on air, sometimes it feels like there's this long pause. And then you go back and watch it and the pause was like half a second.
Yes.
But it feels so much longer. So I think when I do kind of trip up on a word, it messes with my brain to then think that I'm kind of like snowballing.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're not working, let's go back to when you were a kid. What did you do? Were you a book nerd? Were you into video games? Were you sports? Did you do any extracurriculars outside of, home and school?
Yeah, so kind of. So when in Southfield, there was a competition called Battle of the Books. So my mother, she would be like our team captain every year that we could. I think we started in like 4th grade. So it's reading these books. There's a whole list of them. And then there's this competition with you, a bunch of other teams, and they ask questions. You flip up your answer like you're in trivia.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the most points wins at the end of the day. We never won.
But you had fun.
But I had fun. So it was, reading. And then my parents were outdoor people. Like, they loved gardening and things like that. I did not. So you know this story. Whenever we would have family garden time, I had a strategy picked out, foolproof plan. And be like, Kendall, go weed this patch of garden over here or do something. And be like, okay. I had 2 options. I could either do a really fast job and do really terrible, or go really slow and be, effective at like what I'm weeding out. Either way, my dad would come over at one point. He'd be like, Kendall, what are you doing? I'd be like, oh, I'm just doing what you tell me to do.
Right.
He'd get frustrated. He'd be, go inside. I think that lasted maybe 5 times before they kind of caught up with my plan. And they're like, all right, you're inside. You're cleaning the toilets. And I was like, well, it's in the air conditioning, so I'm perfectly fine. But,
so funny.
Like swimming and like summertime activities, we were really, really into.
I think back to my brother used a similar strategy, not for gardening, but to get out of cleaning the table after dinner and doing the dishes. It was always like, gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then he just disappears for 45 minutes and then everything's cleaned up by then.
Yeah, exactly. It's a foolproof plan I don't recommend it. If there are any kids watching this, please. I don't recommend it. I probably should have, because then I would have learned to love gardening now.
Right.
Versus now, when I buy a house,
You're gonna have to do it. Maybe not, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find somebody to do it. I don't think it'll be me.
If you weren't a meteorologist, because there was one point in my life when I wanted to be a ventriloquist.
What sparked that interest?
There was a guest
old were
speaker.
you?
I was in 2nd grade.
Okay.
And we had a guest speaker come in with their puppet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I went home and practiced and thought maybe I could be a ventriloquist.
Oh, okay.
So I'm curious if you had any thoughts growing up of what you would love to do.
So I think my first thought was like I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay, that's
And
great.
then I realized I don't have a whole lot of patience for other people's children. Granted, I was a camp counselor for a couple of years. And that tried to help, but I still was like, absolutely not. Like, these kids, like, sometimes they're just terrible. My nephews, my niece, like, I can deal with them because you can discipline them. You can't discipline other people's children.
Right.
So I was like, okay, not a teacher. And I was like, oh, I think it'd be cool if I was a doctor. I like science. And I was like, I don't know if I could be like a surgeon and be around sick people all the time. Like, that's kind of icky. And then it was like, okay, a news anchor and then a meteorologist.
And it just kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
I wanted to do, my first career goal was to be the voice of a Disney princess.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
I really wanted to do
Yeah.
that. Then that went into, when I was growing up, Britney Spears was just hitting the stage. And so then it was, oh, well, maybe I'll be a pop star. And then it went into, well, now I want to perform on Broadway because I
Yes.
like acting and singing. And then it went into, TV is a bit of a performance, even though I don't think we perform, but it is a
No.
performance.
But I think it's, at least in the 5:30 show, especially with Feel Good Friday, we have fun to where it is some sort of entertainment for at least maybe a minute or two total in a 30-minute show for people to watch. So I still think it makes sense.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I get to perform every day. There's the creative writing. I don't get to sing or anything. Sometimes I did when I was on the morning show.
Now's your chance.
No, that's okay. That's just fine. I want to do a bit of a rapid fire question if we can.
Let's go.
And it doesn't have to be rapid fire. You actually should probably
I was just gonna say,
explain
I'm not
some of
very
these
quick on
things. And I have realized as I was going through and kind of writing these questions, I don't know that I could answer all of them because I have a hard time. I don't know if you're like this, but if you say, what's your favorite color? I don't even know my favorite color because
when
it
you're
varies.
on the spot? Oh, okay.
No, it just
Yeah.
varies. I don't really have favorites of anything. What's your
Okay.
favorite food? Well, I don't know. I got to be in the mood.
Yeah, it depends on the
So
day.
anyway, so we'll do your best.
Okay.
This first one is super easy. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
same.
drink energy drinks, but I can't do coffee. or
Is it the
whatever.
taste?
I
What is
think
it?
because I have to dilute my coffee with a bunch of sugar and a bunch of creamer, then I'm just like, all right, I might just as well just have an energy drink that's more effective
I
at
see.
giving me kind of that caffeine.
I see. Do you have a dream car that you would love to own? Maybe when you were a kid, you had this idea of what you wanted and now it's evolved.
I don't know. I think when I was I still have this vision of Kendall's all grown up, she's married, she has kids, and she's driving around in her black Cadillac Escalade, like that kind of a vision there. But
Okay.
it also could be like a white BMW or something.
Okay.
But now I'm at the place where I'm like, okay, someone has to pay for that.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted a Lamborghini. I just thought the doors, the way
Yeah.
things opened, the Lamborghini, and now I'm like, there's no way. Why would I waste my money on a Lamborghini?
I know
Like your
sometimes,
Honda gets you from A to B just the same way as the Lamborghini does.
And now the crazy thing is with some of these celebrities, they're buying these Lamborghinis and all that. I think it was, this could be wrong, but I think it was Cardi B or somebody. They're buying all of these cars. They don't know how to drive them. So they're just sitting in their driveway as decoration. I don't know if it was Cardi B, it was someone similar to that, however.
Well, you get 18 vehicles in the
Yeah.
driveway and they're all shiny. And when do you have the time to actually
you can't
enjoy
drive 18
them?
cars in a year.
Right.
That's absurd.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like where you're at with that one. This one, ask people a lot, but I am curious. If you had any kind of superpower, what would it be?
I think invisibility, because I am
Sneaky.
very nosy. So I would
Oh.
want to see what people are saying when I'm not physically present.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very.
And then also I feel if I wanted to, I could also board flights, and then I wouldn't need
That's
the
true.
flying,
you could get out of paying for
superpower and
a
all
lot.
that.
Invisibility.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one.
I put a lot of thought into
I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, do you have a hidden talent?
I don't think so. I mean, when I was younger, my parents would always say,
Besides
I could do-
memorizing.
but I could do whistle tones, like Mariah Carey and
Really?
Whitney Houston. I lost that ability.
Oh,
I think I haven't tested it out. I won't test it out here either. But I used to be able to do that, so I don't know if that's a
that's
a former hidden talent. At
I would
least.
have loved to have
Yeah.
that as someone who wanted to be on
Yeah.
Broadway and be a pop star. I could never get a whistle tone.
Yeah,
out
I
of there.
think my parents probably weren't as thankful that maybe that was a talent that 5-year-old Kendall had. But
in a room just singing away.
Yeah,
That was me.
singing.
What about you?
My sister's very, she's into music, she's into theater and all that. So she kind of took that role to where I was just we're driving in the car, she's singing along to every song, and I'm like, please, can we just let the artist sing the song without the background singers?
I can't describe it to you. You have to. You cannot sit there and not sing. It hurts to hold it in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like my kids tell me to stop and I can't. I like the songs and I'll play Disney music in the car because the kids like it and I will sing along to everything. And my middle daughter will say, "Oh my gosh, Mom, I can't hear the music."
So maybe it's a middle child thing because I'm also like a middle child for my dad's
right.
side, you know.
Maybe.
So maybe I'll blame it on that, not my sister.
Speaking of singing, if I could ever convince you, because I, as you know, love karaoke, is there a karaoke song that you could see yourself performing on stage?
I feel like it would have to be something that I could have fun with. So like, I want to dance with somebody. I feel like
you
would be
pick a Whitney Houston song.
I feel like that'd be so much fun. You didn't say I had to be good.
That is true.
That's true. That was not a stipulation in the question that you asked there.
I didn't expect Whitney Houston song to come out for someone who doesn't usually sing karaoke, right? Or do you?
No, but you know, when I was in college, I was in a sorority, and that was always one of the songs that we would, you know, play when we would, you know, get ready for football games and stuff.
No,
like
it's
that.
a great song.
Yes.
It's phenomenal. I love it. It's one of my favorites, actually. Whitney Houston is.
And I feel like everybody knows the song. Everybody knows that it's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Mine would be, not to hijack your interview, but it would be Wilson Phillips. Do you know Wilson Phillips?
Not by
Hold On.
Okay.
Hold on for one more day. No?
No.
Okay.
I have to look up the song after this.
That would be my warm up because it's an easy, but it's a fun one.
So
a lot
we
of
have
people
a whole,
know
like,
it.
set list.
Oh, you can't start off with Whitney Houston. No, you got to start off with something that's easy.
Okay.
But I did ask you if there was one karaoke song. I didn't say you could. Well, of course, you could have
the
multiple.
First one would probably be "Mary Had a Little Lamb" or something like that to warm up.
Hey, if you could sing it well, they'd clap. You know. Okay. I already kind of asked you your first career you dreamed of having, so we kind of did that one. What song do you listen to on repeat?
I feel like you were saying in the beginning of this, it changes every so often. So like if I'm going to the gym a little bit more than normal, I have certain music that I'll listen to that gets me hyped up and, you know, ready for the gym. That's a little...
What artist?
It's mainly like rap and hip hop. So it could be like Eminem. It could be like Waka Flocka. Like it's like very intense music.
Because you got to be in the right mindset.
I got to be in the right mindset. But it...
Yeah. No,
so
I get it.
Right now it's Tit for Tat by Tate McRae. But I will say with my music, you've met Vashon, my boyfriend. Sometimes we're driving to the gym and he looks over at me as I'm playing music. He'd be like, "Hey, baby, like, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm completely fine." He's like, "All right, this music's getting a little intense, a little angry."
Oh.
She's like, "Are you mad at me?" I'm like, "No, we're good. I'm just getting ready to go to the gym." Well, they're talking about how their boyfriend messed up and this, that, and the third. I'm like, "No, we're good. I just need to be in that mindset."
I get it.
Yeah. So that way when I run, I perform better, I feel like.
I love that. We should have a hype song before the newscast.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
How could we figure that out? Work on
just
that,
like a
Kendall.
walk-in song?
Yeah, like I played softball too, and so when you walked up to the plate, you had your walk up, your song. Now I'm thinking, how can we incorporate? Mostly because I just want to see you like get into the zone for the newscast. All right, what's one thing people don't know about you? If you can.
This just popped into my mind.
I love these. Good.
Every movie that I have seen since I was 13 years old, almost every movie, I have cried in.
Now, is this because you're choosing only sad movies?
No. Like we would go and we would watch, like, I think my boyfriend and I were watching like Fantastic Four or something. Like it's an action film.
The new one?
Yes, the new one. And like I'm just like sitting there and I'm like bawling. We went to the theater here in Lansing and saw Mufasa. And I'm like having him lean forward as I'm like sobbing behind him. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "I'm sorry."
There's always something. No.
Yeah, there's always something.
I understand that. Yeah.
But
you're
now
crying
it's
the whole movie, but there are portions of it.
And now it's turned into a thing where he will purposefully, love him to death, I will marry this man, but he will purposefully try to find things to make me cry.
Oh.
I know, because he thinks it's funny, because like it's the littlest thing, like an ant gets stepped on at the end of the movie and I'm just like in tears.
Or he just wants to, cuddle up and make you feel better.
No, he's laughing the whole time.
Oh,
Let's I told him how to watch this, so he knows it's true.
I have two more quickly.
Okay.
Your favorite childhood TV show?
Hannah Montana.
Okay. I never watched that. I think I
have
was
to. It's
I was a bit old. I think I was
Yeah.
older. I didn't get into that. Okay. And then how do you recharge? Because as we found
Yeah.
out, you are very hard on yourself. And if there's a moment in your weather forecasts that, maybe don't go perfectly for you, you're angry and you're calling mom and so how do you unwind after a hard day?
Mainly it's going to the gym the next morning so I can repurpose any of that like negative energy into something positive.
Yeah.
And then also Sherry Jones taught me this like breathing technique. You breathe in for 3, you hold for 3, and you breathe out for 3. So in the middle of the newscast, that'll help me like recenter myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
My kids have come home from school with different breathing things where you trace, you trace a square. And so for the top, you're breathing in and exhale. I don't know. It's
I wish we would have
interesting.
had something like that.
Yeah, we did not, did we?
No,
No.
not in my schools.
Same. Well, I think our time is up, actually.
Oh my gosh. Oh, by quick.
So it was great catching up with you, Kendall.
It's great catching up with you.
I
too,
appreciate
Miss
you
Kloepfer.
sharing and being my very first guest on Catching Up with Kloepfer. And that's our show for today. You can watch Catching Up with Kloepfer every Friday here on WLNS+. But I'm not done just yet. Stick around after the break as we work on finding families for one of the thousands of children in Michigan's foster care system right now who are looking for their forever home. We'll be right back. I'm a mom of 3, and it breaks my heart knowing there are so many children here in Michigan in foster care who are searching for their forever family. So every week on Catching Up with Kloepfer, we are going to do what we can in hopes of finding families for children in this state who are looking for a permanent, loving home right now. This segment is thanks to a partnership with a nonprofit called Grant Me Hope, which interviews children in foster care to learn more about them, their likes, their goals, and their dreams of finding a new family. Here's this week.